Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Agilite. So a bit of a different setup here, of course. I use a ton of Agilite gear. I do like new things, so I'm going to be trying out some new stuff. But you guys have seen, hopefully on the channel, me cover a lot of my Agilite stuff. Everything from a simple helmet cover like this to the magnetics belt, even simpler to things like this balaclava thing style that I use for my NB tactical mesh lower, which is very comfortable, very good, gets rid of a lot of heat, and most importantly, my K19 plate carrier. So let's just get this out of the way. The first venture into Agilite stuff was with this plate carrier, and you guys have seen it on the channel where I built it up. And let me prop the helmet behind here. K19 plate carrier. I have spent an absolute fortune on this, mainly because I got the plate carrier, which, you know, they're not cheap at all. You put the placard on, then you got the placard admin with the two pistol pouches, the dangler pouch, and then extra placard, extra pincer pouches on the sides, as well as the backpack for if I want to carry like an air tank or something like that, if I'm using anything that's HPA powered. I've spent a fortune, and don't mind Loki there. I ended up spending even more because I replaced all the pincer pouches with the newer multi-caliber pouches. So that means these are a little bit wider. They can take a variety of magazines. So you can actually get like AK magazines in here. It's not the most comfortable compared to like M4 and Stanag mags, PMag, stuff like that, but they will go in there. So then replacing all these pouches, I spent a lot. I was using weighted plates, and then I ended up going to some surplus. These are actually real, I think they're ceramic level 3 plates, which I got for a really good price, which did transform how this felt. It was less blocky. It kind of hugs the body a little bit better. So I didn't have to replace all the pouches, but I wanted to run AKs, and that's why I did it. And it has served me very well to date, and I have used an excess amount of, you know, cheap gear as well as proper stuff. I think if you want to get into proper gear, the cheapest and best way to do it would probably go down like the Warrior Assault Systems route. Now you will see on here that the two buckles are slightly different colours. I had to get a replacement from Agilite, which came in a different colour, which was super annoying. But I took a tumble at a site in Derby, and I think that's what did it, because I fell on my back and it must have stretched this. But I ended up breaking a buckle, but Agilite replaced it, of course, under warranty. Just very, very annoying that they send you one that's a different colour. But to be honest, it functions. That's all that matters. And I've ran a lot of gear, and till this day, I'm adamant that this is the best system that I've ever used. So I've been using this for a while, but I did want to try something different, and I've been looking at other things, other products that they do, and I do have a bit of a box here to show you what I've ordered today. But this has done very well. It is very expensive. If you kit it out like this, you're talking, with including like replacing the pouches and stuff, I'm probably well above 1,500. But you don't have to do that. You can always buy the plate carrier, put your own pouches on. It doesn't matter. I just went for this route because I really like what Agilite do. I have used a lot of different belts, everything from like 511, and then I ended up getting, again, an expensive piece. I got the magnetics belt, which is great because you put the inner belt on around your trousers, and then the magnets just help you center your belt and then wrap it around you. And it does save me a lot of time trying to do that. I just click it into the back, wrap it around the front, and I'm good to go. So again, this belt has served me well as well. It's looking a bit bare there, but what we're going to be looking at today, let's get all this out of the way, is their Reaper chest rig. And I've been eyeing this up on their website for a while, and you know, they can, the Reaper chest rig by itself isn't, I wouldn't class it as expensive, but when you start adding all the bits on, it gets expensive. So I was going to order it direct from Agilite, which I've done before, but there was various things that they didn't have in stock, which was kind of annoying. So I ended up buying it from one of their stockists, which is Tactical Kit here in the UK. Now, I've dealt with Tactical Kit many times over the years. They give absolute stellar service, and it's always been a great experience for myself. So let's have a look what we've got here today. So we've got the Reaper rig itself. Again, it's a very small, dainty rig. I've used a lot of like clone stuff in the past with no issues. As well as the Reaper rig, I've got the Warfighter wings. This basically gives you all like the quick detach and everything like that. It gives you an extra bit of mounting space. So we've got those bits. I'm going again with the pincer placard. Everything they seem to do now is multi-caliber. So pincer placard, I picked up an extra 2 pincer mags to mount on either side to have kind of the same setup as my plate carrier. I bought some pistol pouches which will go on the admin pouch which attaches to the front of the pincer placard. So that all gets added on. What else have I got here? This is the dangler pouch, so the 6-pack they call it. So basically it's giving me everything that I need from a plate carrier, but if I want to run a lighter rig, and I've also gone for a different colour, we can do that. On top of that, I'll also be trying out their new Reflex 3D sling. So I run Ferro Concept slings, but this will be interesting. I'm very interested to try it. It's got a bit of flex in it. It's meant to be more comfortable. So let's have a quick look what we've got here. Now you probably can get this cheaper from Agilite and other places. The Reaper rig itself is roughly about £130. However, when you add all this stuff on, it becomes very expensive. So everything you see here, this obviously isn't really relevant. The sling is, again, a little bit expensive, but this was just bought separately. But everything that you see here, including the sling, delivered to my door, cost me about just under £650, which is an astronomical amount of money for something like this. But I've had great experience with their plate carrier, so I wanted to do a chest rig as well. And what I'll be doing, which is why I've gone this route, let me just unwrap this thing here, is I'll be running the placard like I usually do. So if I want to run my M4 mags and I don't want to go with a big plate carrier, let's say I'm doing a lot of CQB, or I want to carry some lighter magazines, this is going to help. But also I'll be using this for SMG setups as well. So I've ordered another placard from Unobtainium Gear, I think it is. So I'll be able to pull my M4 placard off. I'll be able to put my SMG placard on. It does get rid of the admin pouch and the pistol pouches, but I'll be able to just strap that on and run like 5 or 6 SMG mags. So very interested in that. See if we can pull this off here. So it's very simple. You've got your Velcro, of course, for your molly. It's all laser cut stuff. Very, very nice quality indeed. I do like the fact that on the shoulder pads as well, they give you basically these measurements, like these little levels, so you can easily match up. Because one of the things that annoys me is always getting the shoulder straps right, and you can't have to do it by feel. On this one, you can set it where you need it, and then you can just duplicate it on the other side on this little ruler type design here, and the setup should be very easy. So this also splits apart, so we've got some kind of cavity in the back there. Maybe you can put some kind of like retention system for M4 mags. We've got 2 little strips of molly on either side. Now, I imagine we'll lose them when we fit the Warfighter wings. So the Warfighter wings, let's get all this out here, is basically, if I can get this off, trying not to rip it, but here we go. So the Warfighter wings are basically, you're replacing the back strap or the lower strap of your harness, and you're replacing it with this, which basically gives you extra attachment points. So you've still got that strip of molly down the side. It's a little bit bigger. You've got an extra slot there. And it also gives you another 3 slots there of molly attachment if you want to put like extra pouches, which I do want to put on. The other thing to it is you've got these quick release tabs. I'm not sure how this works, so bear with me. So I think you pull that and then this slides. Yeah, so it's just like a spring retention system here. And then you'll attach this to that, and it basically just makes you able to quick detach your rig if you want to. So at the moment, I've got no idea how this goes together, so you'll have to bear with me. I just want to run you through everything that I've got here. So placard, very straightforward. You can open this up here. Very well packaged, I'll give them that. Open this up. We've got our multi-caliber pouches, which they do have the inserts in, so you can actually, if you've got magazines that are a certain size, like MP5s or I think Glock mags as well, you can use these little dividers and run them that way. The problem with that is, if we want to run something bigger like a Scorpion mag or an MP9 mag or anything like that, you can't get two in here. It's a bit of a push, which is why I'll be doing a different style front for that as well. So these will literally just slot in. Got a cat climbing on me. These will just slot in there. That attaches to the front like that, and there you go. You've got that. So with that, the next piece, and that's the 6-pack. We want the admin panel. So with this admin panel, you might have seen it before on my plate carrier. This attaches a certain way that sits on the front, and it gives you more space there. You want to put, you know, general tools, things like that, maybe a tool to set your hop. When this is all set in on your pouches, it also gives you 2 molly slots, which you will fit. A lot of unwrapping, I know, bear with me. You'll fit these, which are the pistol mags, which I do like very much. I'll always run an extra 2, a minimum of an extra 2 pistol mags on my gear. And they're very small. They're like a tiny version of the Pincer M4 pouches, very cute looking. And that will go on there. So I'll have one either side. And it kind of, I went to a colour change. I wanted green instead of multicam. A lot of my kit for a long time has been multicam, but I am sort of moving towards green instead of multicam. It would have been far cheaper for me to get this rig in multicam, because I wouldn't have had to buy the placard or the M4 pouches, because I have them off my original one. They wouldn't have been multi-caliber, but I could have just strapped them straight on. So you'll have that there. You'll have one on each side like that. That all integrates. And then I'll have, the only thing I've got is the extra Pincer single pouches, which are the multi-caliber ones. Basically the same setup as I have on my plate carrier, just a very thin down loadout if I don't want to be carrying the extra weight of the plate carrier. To be honest with you, I don't really feel the weight with the plate carrier. The products are very, very good. And then I'll have one of these on each of the wings of the Warfighter kit. And then lastly, I've got the 6-pack. And this was the product that scuppered me from buying it from Agilite themselves. They didn't have this in. They had everything but this. And I'm one of those that doesn't like to order from multiple different places. So I wonder if the hanger's in here. You do have straps and that, everything in there for if you want to use this as a bag, which is kind of cool, I suppose. So I usually carry, maybe if I'm carrying like 5 MWS mags, I've got one in the gun that's 6. I usually carry 7. So the last one will just go in here. And if I get to a point where I need extra ammo, I'll just strip a mag off my pouches and switch out with one in the 6-pack pouch, just to give me an extra mag, and it kind of holds it out the way. Or if I'm using like strike pyro, anything that's out the ordinary from my normal BFGs, just sits under there. It gives you more versatility. Admin pouch and the 6-pack gives you loads of storage space for anything you might need. The only one that isn't really related to this Reaper rig is this thing here. Can we get this unboxed? Cool packaging, cool packaging. Oh, look at that. Look at the presentation of that. It's like an iPhone or something. So this is it works very similar to the way that my Ferro ones work, but this has got the stretch, and that actually feels really nice. They say it's, you know, one of the most comfortable slings you'll buy, so we'll be putting tests to that. It comes with QD points, which is nice. You don't have to buy that separately. Most slings will have that now, but we'll get to this in a separate video. So there is everything I've bought to set up this Reaper rig and have everything that I use Agilite, because I've been using like cheap DC3R. I have had real ones, and I use copies for my SMG stuff. So this will all be set up on there. If I want to run SMGs, I can just pull this front panel off, switch it out. I'll leave the M4 mags on each side. If I do that, then I may have to change, put like pistol mags on my belt or something like that. So moving to green, I'm going to try it out. It's a super long video, so I'm going to narrow it down for you. But that's everything that I've bought. And then once I've got all this set up, I'll just give you a bit of a demo of what it's like when compared to wearing it with the plate carrier. So for me, it's going to be a bit of time. For you, it's going to be an instant. We'll see you in a moment. Right, for you guys on the video, it'd be an instant. What I actually did is, while I was putting this together, I jumped on a quick live stream on YouTube. So you should be able to go and see the replay of that live stream. It was shot in normal video format, so it should be easy to watch. But just chatting and doing stuff. So I've got the Reaper rig built up now. So we've got the Reaper rig, we've got the multi-caliber placard, we've got 2 extra pincer pouches on the sides, which are mounted onto the Warfighter wings. You've got the admin front pouch or front panel for the placard, which integrates only with the placard. You've got some pistol mag pouches, which look like I've done them wrong, but I haven't. So these do take a bit of stretching to get them running. Admin pouch, loads of space in there for tools, hop tools, you know, a Snickers bar, whatever you want to do. On the 6-pack, you've got a little front pouch there. You've got all the Velcro in the world to put your patches on. You do get in the 6-pack some straps, so you can use this. I believe you can use this as like a little fanny pack type thing. But very strong looking clips here, which I'll never use, but there we go. If you don't want to use the quick detach on the Warfighter wings, you can basically swap it out. Everything's stuck together on this Velcro. You can swap it out with this piece instead, and then that just goes in. And it's kind of still a quick detach, it's just not quite as quick as this. Now, this is going to take a bit of getting used to, because on my plate carrier, I pull it out and down, and it automatically drops out. So it's just, I just rip it. With this one, they've obviously updated the buckles. So you pull it, and it's like a latch, and then you slide it. So it's kind of like the same thing. Same, but different. You know what I mean? So it'll mount all my stuff. Have I got some mags? Let me just grab some mags. I've got some mags over here. Let's grab these. Oh. Right. Mag. These will take a bit of running in because they are brand new. So they are going to need a little bit of a stretch. My other ones were like it when I first fitted them. Now you'll obviously see they go in just fine. So it's going to take a bit of loading and unloading them. Give them a stretch. I might leave, I think last time I put some mags in and I left them in for a while. It's a Daniel Defence double eagle mag. So they will go in, they're just tight from the factory. So I'll push, you know what I might do? I might push all these mags in and just leave them in for a couple of days, just to give them a really good stretch. So push those in all the way. So we can have 5 mags. We can have 2 pistol mags. We've got the admin panel, we've got the 6-pack. With the Warfighter kit, it's more, I find it, or, you know, I did quickly put it on beforehand, but I find it more comfortable, and it also gives you a bunch more molly segments. So we've got 2 molly segments there to use if we want to put like a radio pouch or grenade pouch or anything like that. So we'll get to that. Any questions, of course, you can put them down in the comments below, or you can get on the Agile Precision Discord, links in the description, and come and ask some questions on there. But I've got my plate carrier now, my K19, I've got my Reaper rig, so I'm going to try and run this on Saturday. Probably won't be running M4 mags because I want to use some HPA for a change, and it's probably better for that site because it's very shooty, but we'll give that a go before we return to back for some gas blowback stuff. And yeah, thanks for tuning in as always. That's the Agilite Reaper. This thing's been absolutely phenomenal, so I'm sure the Reaper rig will be absolutely as good as. And thanks very much for tuning in as always. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Agile Precision Discord, link in the description below. But for now, from me and Sofa, we'll be seeing you in the next one.